There now.
Are you sure? Hi everyone! Okay, I'm getting fancy today and doing this a little differently so that we can use this super fancy whiteboard and you guys can actually read it because it's not backwards, because one of you brilliant people gave me the idea to actually turn the camera around and take it out of selfie mode, which I don't know why it just never dawned on me to flip it the other way. So anyway, now I thought this would be great. You can actually read something that I'm showing you and it's not backwards, and I can have points that I want to make in the videos in case I forget anything, because my brain is not working so hot these days. And I want to make sure that I tell you everything I'm trying to tell you. So anyway, today is all about bathing your hairless pets. And I have a blog, a written blog article on our website as well, if you want something more in depth and you learn better that way by reading than by watching a video. But I was looking through that article earlier and kind of pulled out the main points about bathing your hairless pet, and we're going to go through the main points to kind of try to simplify and clarify what it is you need to know. So, you know, especially it's been a bit of a challenge for me, especially recently, because I have the Nudie Naturals line of skincare products that most of you know that I'm making. So a lot of people are coming to me and asking me, you know, what product I would recommend. Their cat's having really oily skin problems, or really dry skin, or they have rash, or, you know, whatever different variation of things. And well, it would be so easy for me to just say, you know, here's a link to my store, go buy my shampoo. I actually got to back that up sometimes with people if I don't know what they're feeding their cat, because that could be creating a big part of the problem, because the quality of your skin. No, Ariel, that wasn't the door. It was me, silly. So I'll try not to bang my board while I'm doing my video. Anyway, the quality of skin for people or animals is directly related to our diet. And, you know, this is not to say the diet is, you know, the only cause of a skin problem, because it certainly is not. But in a lot of cases, if a cat's having, or even people, you know, having issues with acne, or over oily skin, or over dry skin, you know, a lot of times it may be related to the fact that they're not getting everything they need in their diet to keep their body well, and so that's becoming clear through their condition of their skin. Just like, you know, a healthy person that's eating a good diet and doing all the lifestyle things they're supposed to do, you know, often people are like, oh, your skin looks so great, you know. And the same thing with an animal, especially more so in coated pets. We can see if a dog or a cat has nice shiny fur, you know, that to us is a sign and a clue of good health. And it's the same thing with the hairless pets. It's just we don't really see that same, you know, the same reflection, because they don't have the hair. So, you know, what we want to see is their skin look very soft, very velour looking, with kind of a nice little sheen. Shouldn't be too oily, shouldn't be too dry, should be somewhere right in the middle. So how you achieve their best skin health through diet is going to be, I don't know how well I can write and talk on here, a raw diet or a canned diet. And feeding either a frozen raw diet, a freeze-dried raw diet, or a canned food only diet is going to be the best way to keep their skin healthy, because they're going to be getting all the nutrients they need from the protein in the foods. And also the big key thing is a lot of water, enough hydration through the foods, which is a big factor of reflection of their skin. So a dry food diet is exactly what it sounds like. It's dry, and a cat that's eating primarily or all a dry food diet, their skin is not going to be healthy because they're not getting enough hydration. They won't drink enough water on top of whatever they're getting in their food to keep themselves hydrated. So that's step one. So I'll always kind of backtrack one step and make sure that the diet's really good and what's being done there, so then I can try to help someone figure out what shampoo products I would recommend to them. And then the other big thing I get asked all the time is how often to bathe your pet, and this again is completely individual to the pet. Just like people, some people's skin's oily, some people's too dry, you know, certain products work better for one or the other. In fact, it's funny, I was just talking with my friend the other day, and we were talking about her hair, and she's somebody that if she doesn't wash her hair every single day, her hair will be oily really quickly. And I'm like, I could never wash my hair and it wouldn't be oily, I swear. Like, mine's always way too dry. Like, I would be just like itching my hair out from just not washing my scalp before my hair would actually get oily. So, you know, we're individuals, just like pets. Through the years, I've had some cats that their skin is so dry. In fact, my Stubbins one, like, I cannot overbathe him. I only bathe him once every 2 to 3 weeks, and anymore, his skin's so dry that would actually be too much for him. And then I've had other cats. I remember one of my boys years ago, and we like to in the cattery dub these guys like the greasers, because I would bathe him and it didn't matter. Even with the best of the best products, he would be all greasy again and oily and all brown within like 5 days. So, you know, it's just gonna be individual, so you really gotta base it on your pet. But you need to make sure you're giving them the right quality food and using the right quality bath product, so that you can find the level that's right for them, because you wanna make sure their skin's healthy. You don't wanna be bathing them every week, thinking you're doing the right thing, but missing the other steps, bathing them in a product that's not good or not having them on the right diet, because that's their skin actually trying to tell you something. So lastly, what product to use? And of course, I love my products, Nudie Naturals. I'll never personally use anything else because, you know, I know exactly what's going in them. I don't have to worry about any additives or anything that I don't want on my pets. So that's what I use. You know, certainly wouldn't be the only thing that's out there. There's other products that are good, just nothing else that, you know, I want to use personally. But whether you're using my products or something else, you know, the big key thing is I just want to make sure that everybody knows to look to make sure they're chemical free, first off, natural and hydrating. You know, chemical free is pretty obvious. If we're putting this on the skin's the largest organ in the body for humans or pets, and you know, we absorb things through our skin. So literally whatever we put on our skin, it does absorb into the body and get into the bloodstream, and your body has to process out if there's any toxic material in there. So, you know, you want to reduce the chemical toxin load in the body as much as possible. You know, we're already getting enough toxic crap everywhere in our world these days. So try to reduce that. So you make sure there's no things like parabens, sulfate, sodium lauryl sulfate. There's lots of different hydroxidins, and you know, if it's a big long word that's, you know, something you can't say, then typically that's a chemical thing you don't want in the product. And certainly you don't want any dyes like red dye 52, 42, whatever. There's all these different numbers. A lot of, actually, it's really disappointing, a lot of baby shampoos brands, even the most popular big ones like Johnson & Johnson, they put like dyes in the shampoo just to make it this fun orange color, which it's like confusing. I don't know why we ever thought that shampoo needed to be like orange or red. But somewhere along the line, that's the thought that was brought about, and so they add a dye to it to make it that color so people will buy it, and so then you're just putting a chemical dye on your baby, and it's like, why, you know? And so that was the first thing for me developing my products, is I didn't want to put anything in there that wasn't needed, you know, just purely only what was going to be needed and helpful to the cat's skin to help their condition and not make anything worse. So natural based products, and then hydrating is a huge thing, and this is where I first really started to figure this out with the Hairless Pets skin, and actually even my own skin. My Hairless Cat line of products came from me making my own moisturizer first for my own dry skin, and learning that even for people with oily skin, actually using oils on the skin is helpful, because it helps to put natural oils and moisturizing into the skin, and the more moisturized the skin is, then the less that the skin will produce these natural oils trying to sort of hydrate itself. So that's a huge thing that I've found in the hairless cats that's extremely important for their skin care, and cuts down on the buildup of the oil, you know, the brown, the oil, the greasy stuff all over their skin, is hydrating their skin through the products we're putting on them. So that is key. So for that, you really want a product that has some oil base in it. The shampoo products can be some shampoo products can mostly be made of soap, sapified oils, which are an oil turned into soap, which, like, my shampoos do have some soap because I want to actually clean the cat, but it's a low percentage of soap because you don't really need much to clean. And actually a lot of the natural oil-based products that I put into there also naturally cleanse the skin, but as it's cleaning the skin, it's also hydrating the skin. So we're washing away dirt and debris and cleaning off the old, you know, dead skin cells and the old oils that have built up on the skin. And at the same time, we're rehydrating the skin with fresh new oils so that your cat will actually stay clean for a longer period of time. And people that use the shampoo for the first time, they're always amazed. They're like, oh my God, my cat's usually dirty 3 days after the bath, and suddenly, you know, it's been 2 weeks and they're barely dirty again. And that's why, because I'm not just cleaning their skin with soap and drying their skin out, but I'm cleaning it and rehydrating all at the same time. Now, one issue with that people tend to have a little bit of a problem with is, again, through the last 50 years and marketing, we've all been kind of brainwashed to think soap has to have this nice fancy lather. You know, we wash our hands and it's supposed to be all white and lathered, and we think that's a good quality soap. Well, that lather only typically comes from chemical ingredients like something called sodium lauryl sulfate, which is not natural and very harsh and irritating to the skin. So in a natural product, like the ones I make, you're not going to get that white, thick, fluffy lather. I use mostly a glycerin, and typically the coconut soap actually lathers the best. So it'll lather a little bit, but very minimally compared to other products, especially because my products are like 90% oil-based, and the oil, of course, is not going to lather. You can rub your hands in that all day long, and it's not going to lather. You know, but it's just interesting, because if we look 50 years ago, a lot of natural soap products, they didn't lather. There wasn't these chemical ingredients that made them lather. They were just simple sapified ingredients like sapified olive oil, salt, you know, maybe a butter in there, like a coconut butter or shea butter or something, you know, and we didn't have all these other added things to make it all fluffy and soapy and lathery and look pretty. So that's kind of where I'm at, is cutting that out of the mix. So, you know, again, whether you're using our products or not, just make sure they're free of all those chemicals, natural, and have some type of oil added in to hydrate your cat's skin. And just try to let go of the predetermined conception that it needs to lather, because it doesn't. Just use it once, try it, you know, you'll be amazed how nice and clean your cat will stay, and it'll help you save time and energy bathing them, and I'm sure they will like you for it, not having to get a bath as often. So, all right, I hit all my points, and I'm sure you're all kind of bored of me yabbering. So, goodbye.